Mic check, test one, two, three.
Yes,
Can you?
Superman.
Okay, good.
All right, so shall we?
Yeah.
Welcome. There's a little small thing here. Wait, All right, everybody. Welcome to today's segment of the Dways saga. I have the man of the hour with me, Dr. Zul, the director, shareholder, and chief scientist of Dways. Understand that you are doing you have started some investigations, Dr. Zul.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time investigating, especially Nancy, uh, my co-founder of Dways, and I can see a lot of wrongdoings. Yeah.
Okay, so today's segment will focus on a few things. I think because if not the video will be too long because too many people to investigate. First up I have Dr. Zul. Then second later I will have Raymond to tell us about his findings as the management consultant hired by Dr. Zul. Okay, but I am quite I have recently let me just share my slides, okay? Because recently I have made a video regarding Dr. Damo as the fake director and fake chief scientist of Dways. Just a minute, let me just pull out my slides. Of course, we know that he is definitely a real scientist. Okay, that's not in doubt, right? So for any avoidance of doubt, Dr. Damo is a scientist, and I believe he's quite a. He was also an award-winning scientist. He's just not the chief scientist of Dways because that's a different thing, huh? Okay, let me see. Yeah, so I have this video that went a little bit viral. Okay, so this one is Dr. Damo and director and chief scientist of Dways. And I understand, Dr. Zhu, you were the one who introduced him to Dways.
Yeah, I brought him in. Actually, I took a class from him. It was a master's degree for clinical research, and that's where I met him. And when he get to know about what my research is and what I'm doing for D-Ways, he get very interested. And of course, I connect him with Nancy. So all was good and dandy until the last 3 months.
Okay,
And
so
there were things going on.
okay, and of course, we know that you have been basically terminated by your staff, Henry. We made a video about that, and then on the 2nd of December, there's supposed to be a live event by Dr. Damo. I mean, I just call him the fake director and fake chief scientist because he was never appointed as the director of Dways, right? And he's also not the chief scientist of Dways because you are the chief scientist and you are the formula.
Yes, I am the formulator for all the products.
Yeah.
All the products.
Okay, and I understand that today I'm here because we have found out some more disturbing things about what they have tried to do after they got Henry to terminate you. Okay, I'll just put here. Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Well, Nancy wants to adulterate my formulation. I think the Bigelow. So she sent a message to a lady that owns the manufacturing company, and she wants to put this herb. The name in Latin is quite a mouthful, but you can read it there. But all of us commonly known this particular herb as neem. So, being a master herbalist myself, I always recommend neem for topical reasons, right? Neem is not so uh, potentially good to ingest it, especially on a daily basis.
Hmm.
So I do not know where Nancy got this idea to put this Indian herb into Biglo. And as you can taste Biglo, it tastes very fruity, and a lot of the nutraceuticals that I put in will be from, fruits such as tomatoes and other kinds of fruits and berries. But I will never put neem into the formulation. And there's two reasons particularly for that. Number one is that it tastes bitter.
Bitter.
What? Bitter, right? If you go to Tekka market and then you just take a piece of neem, say a leaf of neem, and If you could chew it, the bitterness would last for hours, right? And if you put neem into Biglow, it
My
is going to be the worst seller supplement.
yeah, I cannot imagine drinking a bitter drink every day, you know.
Exactly, right? You have to force
Terrible.
yourself to ingest this. So this is the reason I'm very disappointed with Nancy. And whatever she wants to do, she do it unilaterally, right? Especially now, or maybe I could say it escalate until now, but it started about a few months back. So, but the worst thing about neem is that, according to Medicine Net, this is a very reputable website that all of you can go. And you know that they pointed out there's 6 potential risks of or side effects with neem. So
Wow.
number one, if you consume neem and you are, you're pregnant, you could lead to miscarriage.
Neem.
Yes,
Wow.
right? So it could lead to miscarriage. So unless you want to abort the baby, then you should ingest neem.
Every day lah.
But it's very dangerous for a woman to consume neem, right?
Oh my gosh.
So secondly is that if you take neem on a long period of time, if let's say you suffer from some kind of parasite or what, you can ingest neem maybe for a few days. That would be okay, right? But you can't ingest neem for a long period of time because Biglo is supposed to be drink on a daily basis for better skin health. So if you consume neem for a longer period of time, you will experience skin dryness. So Biglo, the compounds that is in Biglo are classified as cosmeceuticals. Cosmeceuticals are compound that enhance your skin's,
Radiant.
appearance.
Oh.
But you put neem, instead of making it more moist and, better looking, you're making your skin dry,
Oh my gosh. I'm sure
right?
no women want to have their skin very dry lah. You
Who
look
wants
very
it, right? I
fluffy.
would like to have a moist skin, not dry skin,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So if you go to Medicine Net, you can find this out. So if you consume neem for a long period of time, you can also develop kidney stones,
Oh my gosh.
right? Spinach also the same, right? If you eat it every day, you would also develop kidney stones. Uh, so if you consume neem for a longer period of time, you could lead to infertility.
Wow.
Okay, infertility. Unless you want to have babies or do not want to consummate, then eat neem every day,
Oh my goodness.
right?
It
Both for men and women,
the
both for
population
men
growth rate in
and
Singapore very bad already lah. We should not definitely have neem
yeah,
every day.
all right. So nursing women should not drink neem, should not eat neem, right? Because they are lactating, and through the breast milk, you could have harmful effect for the infants.
Wow. Would the breast milk taste bitter also?
I do not know. Right? Only Nancy knows.
So now she's also becoming scientist, is it?
That she wants to. So the last one is that you know is that neem could upset your microbiome in your gut, right? Because it's antibiotic, antiparasitic, and you could kill off all your good probiotics in your gut if you consume it on a regular basis. So we have to have good bacteria in our gut, which is probiotics. So by consuming neem on a daily basis, it could just kill off all your good probiotics in your gut. So
Wow.
I wouldn't put neem at all into the formulation because of these two reasons. Number one, it tastes awful, it tastes bitter, and the other one, it has a lot of side effects. So a lot of people think that as long as it's natural, it's cool to have it, but it's not true,
Hmm.
right? So I've studied herbs, both Chinese herb and Ayurvedic Indian herbs also, and The Chinese have a system whereby they classify herbs as in three categories according to um, the yellow emperor
Mm,
Medica Medica,
mm,
whereby they classify herbs as three different types of herbs. Number one, you can take it on a short period of time. After you get better, you stop it. The other one is you can take it for a period of time, but you should not take it every day. And the last kind of herbs is that you can take it for a long period of time. You can take it every day.
mm.
So I don't think so. Neem would be classified as the last one I mentioned. I should classify neem as the top one, which is you could eat it just for a short period of time. You kill the parasite in your gut or whatever.
Mm.
Then you stop ingesting it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
definitely not for long-term usage lah. That's what you're saying, right?
So every time I formulate a supplement, it's through extensive and intensive research. I need to know the side effects, the things that can cause harm to people. No doubt, it's natural. Uh, but if you get bitten by a snake, it's also natural, right? So not everything that is natural is can be good for you, right? But with people with very little knowledge, they will probably say, "Hey, you know, just put this, just put that, and hopefully it will turn out to be okay," which is not true.
I understand you telling me that neem is like a natural pesticide, is it?
It is.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I also understand you have asked Dr. Damo whether he was responsible for the change of the formula or anything, right? But of course, waiting for him to respond.
Yeah, I would like him to respond to this because, first of all, when I return back to the office and I would like to know the finance and the details that, the ins and out, the P&L, the cash flow of the company, and of course the bank statement. Nancy refuses, and we record this in camera. And Nancy do not want me to get access to the accounts. And also Nancy and Dr. Damo lock themselves up in a room. That is my room, right? That is my room. I supposed to get access for it, but they deny me the access. So even though when I left for lunch and when I came back, they I saw Mary Chang lock the office and do not grant me access to the place.
Wow.
So the police advised me not to do that again, and the police told me that if they don't want you to go to the office, that's pointless for you to be in the office. It will only lead to maybe arguments and even bad things can happen. So, but I'm still working for Dways, right? My Dways is it's my invention, right? It's my creation.
Your baby also lah, Dways.
Yeah, the baby of my hard work and my thinking and my thoughts. For the past maybe 13 years, I've been dreaming about having this company. And sad to say that, things doesn't go as well as I planned. And of course, we have this group CEO, which do not want me to look into the accounts and also the access to the bank accounts and the uh, finances in the company. So
Yeah, talking about the accounts, I believe we have Raymond. Raymond, are you there? Raymond, can you come online? Because I understand, Dr. Zul, that you have engaged Raymond, okay, to be the management
yeah,
consultant.
it's well paid. I tell you, I was very surprised with the knowledge that Raymond have. And when I come over to his office, he hangs this certificate, which
Management.
trained as a certified management consultant. So although I have an MBA myself, uh, but the knowledge that he have really amazes me. Right. So I like to thank Raymond and anyone out there who believe that your partner is cheating you. Raymond is the right person. to engage. I will give him 10 upon 10 for his work and his dedication towards helping me uh, putting Dways back on track.
Okay, so thanks, Dr. Zul. So Raymond, I understand you have found out some very disturbing information. I'm going to just show the website. Is this shall we start with this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Tell us what you have found, Raymond, as the management consultant. And I
Okay.
understand you also last time you also helped more than 3,000 clients in their PIC grant, and then you have like a direct access to IRAS officers and so on.
Yeah, I have over 3,000 clients, which I help in various capacity, mostly in government grant application. Okay. But okay, before we go on to this, I just want to ask, when Dr. Zhu, when Dr. Damo or Nancy changed the formula, is it because we are starting to think whether it's because they want to gain the upper ground in the upcoming, but of course we are not taking action yet. We're upcoming IP lawsuit.
I think they are trying to create derivative thing products to get away with the IP thing.
Yeah,
But intellectual property belongs to me. I am the one that liaise with the manufacturing process from A to Z.
yeah,
The only thing that Nancy does is, of course, release the money to the manufacturing company so that we can have the products.
yeah.
Everything else is done by me.
I mean, I think I would much rather trust you, Dr. Zul, to be handling the IP than Nancy lah. You
Yeah.
know, who wanted to put Nim. I will never drink something with Nim since it's going to be bitter to begin with.
You probably you walk your house is around Tekka Market. You ask any Indian guy that he takes a bunch of neem on a regular basis, you will never see that happening, right? Nobody eats neem on a daily basis, right? Only to get rid of parasites and other kinds of infection. And after that, they don't consume it. It's not meant to be eaten on a daily basis, right? So I'm a master herbalist. I know what I'm doing, and we have sold thousands and thousands and thousands of bottles, and we hardly have any complaints about the product. But once Nancy adulterated it, put neem into it,
Oh my gosh, I can't believe they are putting Nim inside
I
the
am I
well-loved
am
product of
puzzled,
Dways.
and I hope nobody blames me for that.
Yes. And of course, we understand you are still, despite the hardships and the difficulties that Nancy is throwing your way by denying you access to the
Yeah.
office, denying you access to the
Yeah,
accounts and all that, you are still doing your job as a director to protect D-Ways from such, adulteration of the D-Ways products.
yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
now, Raymond, you want to
Yeah.
talk?
I want to update on the financial investigation. Can we just stop sharing? I just want to probably talk like this
Okay.
so that we can zoom in on. So okay, Dr. Zhu, I want to do some basic reporting of what I've just found and of course we have found that the GST payment uh I mean, of course, it's more documented in the website, but long story short, right? I think she reported about 400 410,000, okay, there about, okay? But actually, the right figure should be 450,000. So as a result of that, right, she underreport the revenue by about maybe 60,000, which
Yeah.
means that the avoidance of tax, Irish don't share,
I want to show the
you just share,
part of
okay.
avoidance.
Okay, never mind, never mind. Just go down, further. Okay, so okay, based on this what she should have reported should be 457,000, but she reported 414,000. Okay, so basically the amount of tax evaded, right, is about thousands of dollars, maybe $5,000 6,000. Okay, so this is GST, and then of course the second part, right, which is the zero rated supplier. That means on basically even though we don't we uh Dways doesn't have to pay tax for any income that is derived from export, but she still must by law report the amount of revenue gotten from Vietnam. And it seems that Vietnam is completely should report at zero. That means there's a complete non-reporting of revenue from Vietnamese point of view. Maybe can I understand from your point of view, right? What do you feel about this finding?
Okay, let me tell you about my observation. During the trip in Thailand, the manager for Vietnam, her name is Ann for short. The Vietnamese name is quite difficult to pronounce. Nguyen. So she handed Nancy a stack of money during the breakfast time. And she says, Nancy, this is your money. And Nancy said, no, don't pass it to me now. I see you in my room, and then we can count the money together. So, there are money coming in from Vietnam, and I've been put aside, not to not to know that there's sales in Vietnam. So as time went on, I helped Nancy also to pack and send products to Vietnam, and the sales are getting higher and higher, right? Higher and higher every week. So I asked Nancy, why are we sending a lot of products to Vietnam, right? And she says that you're money face, right? Shut up, don't question me on finance. You don't know anything about finance, right? And I say, Nancy, I know finance. I got an MBA I got a Master of Business Ed, right, from University of Nottingham Trent. So I know finance. You must educate me on this finance. I want to see the accounts. And then the war starts, right? So Nancy start to brush me aside, telling all the leaders that I'm not a founder of the company, right? And as you can see, some of the leaders in the Facebook discounted me totally. And instead of putting me as the founders, they misinform people that Dr. Damo is the founder and the formulator of the product. I have to reiterate to you one more time, that I am the formulator of the products, 100%, right? No other person is helping me in formulating the product. So I keep on asking Nancy the P&L, the balance sheet. So Nancy just give me a small little piece of paper, right? This is the finance. You're going to read it yourself. So I can't see nothing because the font is super small. I think she chose the smallest font. Allow me to see that. I say, Nancy, I need a clearer picture, please. So she say, yeah, you don't understand finance. Just shut up. And then so the pressure is building up. Every week, she saying that, why you're not creating any more products? And I asked her, Nancy, there are 1,200 people, scientists, right, working for Amway to come out products. In Dways, I'm the only guy, right? And so far for the past 3.5 years, I've came out with almost 20 products. 3 other products, I think Nancy had the formulation. And but now she's telling people I'm just a staff. I'm not a co-founder. I'm not the formulator of the products. I'm just a staff. And she even really to one of the distributor, she says that Zul is just like a chef. She cooks for a restaurant, and when he dies, right? We can employ another chef based on the recipe that he created, right? Life have to go on.
Dr. Zul, that you have never transferred your IP over to Dways, right? There's no document, anything.
No. So the intellectual property, of course, belongs to me. Non-intellectual property, I mean, it belongs to Nancy. Or I have never given the intellectual property to Nancy in paper, in writing, right? Although for the past 3.5 years, I allow Dways to use my formulation.
Yeah, so maybe this part I want to ask Raymond. Raymond, because you're a little bit more experienced with the law, can you like just let us know a little bit about what's the difference between copyright and IP, or do you think that Dr. Zul has a claim over his IP?
Okay, the thing is that you see, for copyright, copyright protects expression. When they say expression, what does expression means? For example, a painter, what is the expression of a painter? A painting, okay? For a musician, what is the expression of a musician? The music scores that he writes, or even the performance that he or she makes. So that is copyrighted, okay? These copyrights, right, does not need to be registered, because it's by default of the expression, right? You already own it, okay? For example, a photographer, for example, a chef, he owns the recipe, and even the photographer owns the IP of his own camera, okay? Unless there's a contract that says that his photography, the copyright belongs to someone else, okay? Usually during an engagement, you will say that you are the photographer, but all the IP of your photograph belongs to me, okay? There must be an explicit term that states that, okay? So in the context of Dr. Zhu, right, there is no for Dr. Zhu, right, being the designer of the supplements, by default, he owns the intellectual property. Okay. If there is no agreement that states that the IP is transferred to the company, then there's no agreement that says that the IP is transferred to the company, because the transfer of IP, right, must be definite, must be clear, must be unequivocal. Okay, it must be clearly stated. And usually, even for that, right, the IP, if it's transferred, right, it has to be factored into the financial statement in the form of balance sheet, because then the balance sheet owns an intangible asset. The intangible asset being the IP. Okay, it must be clearly stated. So if you look at the financial statements, there is no such entry, right? That means the company does not own the IP. End of story. Okay.
Okay, so let's go back to the Vietnam. Okay, I want to show you guys some very interesting photos. I think this is from the Vietnam Dways Facebook. Okay, at this end, counting money. And I think there's more than one photo of her counting money in the Dways Vietnam Facebook group lah. You all can go and see yourself, but hopefully they don't go and remove it but really captured some of the evidence already, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
So I mean, from what I can see, looks like there is definitely business going on in
Correct.
a thriving business in Vietnam. But yet, okay, as what I understand, every time Dr. Zul asks Nancy about the Vietnam sales, and he's always brushed aside, okay, and Nancy always doesn't want to answer him, and basically telling him that just samples and all these things are, from what I understand, so these are all the things. You have anything to add about the accounts, Raymond? How is it related to the founders bonus and
Okay.
all? Yeah.
So my question is that, right, as I go through the audit of the contract, right, it seems that independent sales representative, right, they have this one part of the bonus, which called founder bonus, and founder bonus is related to the revenue of the company. So if the revenue of the company, right, in Vietnam is not reported, will it affect the founder's bonus?
Well, definitely it does, right? And I have this complaint going on, and people asking me, where is my founder bonus? Right? Where is my founder bonus? So Nancy's style of management is that shut up or I terminate you. Right?
That's what she
Nancy
did.
should write a book on leadership style of Nancy. Shut up or you get terminated. So there's this guy by the name of Rumi. He make the system prim and proper. So when he asked Nancy, this product shipped to Vietnam, put under which account? And Nancy gave him a death stare. And within weeks, Nancy terminated him.
Oh gosh.
Right? So just like my position, when I start questioning Nancy about Vietnam sales and all that, she said, "You're money face," right? Of course, I'm money face because I'm the director of the company, right? I need to know where the money goes. Or I need to know where the product goes, right?
Yes,
And if it's not accounted for, I'm the director of the company, is also liable to,
exactly.
to my stakeholders. And the stakeholders are the distributors. And they work hard for it. They work very, very hard. And sometimes I accompany them to appointments and so on. And I see how hard they work. And they are deserving to get the founder's bonus. And this is what I'm fighting for, right? This is what I'm fighting for. So um, we want to fill up the petition as much as we can so that we can send this to the police and the CAD so they can take legal action against Nancy, right?
Wow.
So I'm very disappointed in Nancy because Nancy have cheated me in the past. And I told her that. And I already told Dr. Damo that. And Dr. Damo now is colluding with Nancy, bringing a fake legal advisor that doesn't have a degree in law and doesn't have a degree in, it doesn't have a bar, right? Trying to terminate me illegally. Is he higher? Is he higher than Accra? Or is he higher than the Supreme Court? Right? So I'm asking this guy, his name is Abdul Rauf. Are you higher than Accra? And now because Nancy has tell everyone that I am being terminated, and if the sales volume of DB is going to go down, I will take this Abdul Rauf to task. And especially Dr. Damo, I will take you to task too. Because you are colluding with Nancy against me so that I cannot do my investigation. And this is to tell you that you will not be able to run away from me.
Well, I think what's happening in Dways is very serious, and that's why we all have to come together because I would say that the deception many levels. Not only did Nancy, deceptively tell people that Dr. Zul is no longer a director, she also deceptively, Dways also deceptively saying that Dr. Damo is now the director and the chief scientist of Dways when he wasn't. Okay, so I think these are all very serious, and as a company, should not be doing that, as well as just what Dr. Zhu mentioned just now. Okay, Nancy is attempting to change the formulation of Beagle, all right, to something that is not very safe. And if she can start doing that to Beagle, what about to the other products that Dr. Zul has created over the past few years?
And not only that, Nancy is telling people now, when people say to Nancy, what about the founder's pool, founder's bonus? You know what she says? Oh, I'm going to go away with that. Right?
Well, it's
So
very
she just,
convenient, isn't it?
yeah, it's very convenient for her to say to the stakeholders that your investments are kaput, right? But where does the money goes to? Because DB is making millions of dollars, right? Millions of dollars. And I do an
Educating.
estimate, right? I just do an estimate for all of you to understand the magnitude of this problem. So if let's say Nancy sends 2 or 300 bottles of HL Span to Vietnam, that would be about $70,000 every week. That's only like, for example, one product. But she's sending other products also, right? Because if you look at the Facebook of Dways International Singapore, we barely have about 200 to 300 followers. But in Vietnam, we already have 12,000, right? Vietnamese people are more, enterprising and more hungry for business. And they're doing Dways product. They are selling Dways product. So in 1 week, Henry or Rumi or whoever it is, Richard, is sending like 300 bottles of HL span, there's going to be about 70,000. That's times 4. That's about nearly 300,000 of, you know, turnover or revenue that I don't see. I don't see.
Understand, Dr. Zul, that you
Then
have
what happens if they've been doing it for the last, maybe 1.5 years? So if 1 year, that's over 3.3 million of dollars going to whose pocket? Certainly not going to Dways' pocket.
and so that you are not getting the money, the people who bought the founders packages, the founders bonus, because that's linked to the revenue, right? So basically, many people are being hurt by Nancy's basically evasion of the reporting of the Vietnam revenue.
Yes, sorry, just let me just one last question. From what you say, it's quite shocking. So, from all indication, is it possible that she used Dways' money to buy the stock, but the money received from Vietnam, instead of going back to the company, it may have gone to her pocket?
That's my suspicion.
Yeah,
Because
but
I don't see that money, any kind of money, not even a cent, going into Dways' revenue. Because Henry did compute on a daily basis how much we make a day and how much we make in a week and a month. And this is given to me until, I told Nancy to open up the accounts seriously, and then she denied me again until the police had to come. Of course, a lot of people colluding with her. Maybe she fit them well. But even though there's 1,000 people trying to stop me doing this, I will still pursue on. It's like a moving train. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to go to all the government authorities and report this. Because as a director, if you don't report this to IRAS, I might get implicated.
Yeah,
yeah,
understand.
the thing is that, of course, before the thing is like this. Okay, we have asked her to submit herself for investigation and a board inquiry for since 18th of November. She has so far refused to attend our board inquiry. But to be fair to her, before we get to ask her question or before we take her statements, right? I don't think it's fair to conclude that she has taken the money, but she definitely have to explain where all these $3.3 million of projected income goes to.
Yeah. And first you have to explain to me.
Because you were
Yeah.
packing the supplements in the Singapore warehouse to send to Vietnam, right, Dr. Zul?
Initially, yes, but I got into an argument with her. I told Nancy, I'm not going to do this anymore. No, I'm not going to send products to Vietnam without getting a single cent out of it, right? And she always, gaslight. And then, of course, she have her cronies, to confide with. She says to people like, Zul is getting lazy. He's not coming out with products. I don't think so. He'll be long in Dways, and so on and so forth. But I'm telling you, until now, I'm still investigating. Right? I'm still investigating on Nancy. Every day we find new evidence, and I just have to wish everybody a Merry Christmas except Nancy.
But of
Yeah.
course, at the same time, I just want, since you are talking about investigation, right? We have that time when we went to the office I think on 14th of December, because after the court order was issued, right? We
Yeah.
collected a series of WhatsApp messages from the company WhatsApp account to some of the major distributor, and we find that some of the communication can be quite problematic, I want to ask you whether we are going to extend the investigation to other distributor who may be problematic. Like, for example, for Shalina, right? We couldn't explain that in her account, right, the 22,000 that she received as a income, right? We couldn't really explain it logically. Well, maybe at this point, do you want to share something about Shalina as to what kind of investigation we will carry out on her?
Well, I like to call upon her to come and see me, right? To furnish me with some information. But at the moment, I want to keep it as a surprise, right? So I would like to call a lot of people, especially those who are colluding with her, right?
With Nancy
They
Long,
can
you mean?
refuse to see me, but when they are called upon in the court, it will come.
Yes.
And I'm bringing them to task, right? They might laugh at me, people like Dino and all that. When I want to go back to the office, they block me. They shouted, the unwelcoming director is here, lock the door, they lock the door. They can do all this. But I tell you one thing, right? In the court, it's difficult to lie.
Yeah. All the evidence will come out, and that's what I have also
Yes.
found out, and I really know that, as long as we are doing the right thing, and I really sincerely believe that you're doing the right thing, and I want to thank you, Dr. Zul, for really doing what you're doing for all the distributors. I know it's not easy because you also, had to undergo a lot of hardship as well as being kicked out of not just your office but your house as well. It's really terrible, and I can't believe that Nancy Long would do that to her own partner and her own fellow director who has contributed so much to Dways. And you're the reason why Dways is there. It's because of your products and your invention. You know.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
can tell you this, I will really, really work hard for it. Right? And I'm not going to give up just like that. And if Nancy were to just pray that I will one day roll over and die, she better pray hard because I'm going to come back with a ton of brick. Like a ton of brick, I'm going to go after her because she cheated me once and I told her that. And I even told her in front of Dr. Damo. And yet Dr. Damo still colluding with her.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to go to these two links. There are two links involved. One is the petition, okay, bit.ly/Nancy to resign, and the other one is the findings, the financial irregularities. Okay, that one is in ventshare.net/dways that Raymond has compiled through his looking through the company finances and so forth. And this is a ongoing D-Race saga, and we are going to send you lots of information, and you can stay tuned. And I just want to tell everybody that I have successfully filed a lawsuit against D-Race, okay, for breaching their contract with me. Basically, Nancy Long, I mean, cause I know that Dr. Zhu is not for whatever that she has done, okay, and so yes, so these are the things that we are doing. Anything else you want to add, guys?
I think, and that's all, Aris, for now.
Yeah.
Now that's all.
Okay, thank you everybody, and thanks for joining us, and wish you a Merry Christmas.
Wish you all a Merry Christmas, except Nancy Long.
I have a present for her. Bye bye.
Bye bye, everyone.